Talk. Welcome, one and all. So, President Trump has said that we're hours away from the Iran deal being signed, and he was plenty ticked off for good reason at Netanyahu for this bombing that Netanyahu did in Tehran, and he called up Netanyahu, and it's been released what he said to Netanyahu. So, President Trump is hours away from ending a 47-year-old war, and Netanyahu goes and bombs Lebanon, and Trump was ticked off, okay? The latest headline on Fox News just a few minutes ago, Trump claims Iran peace deal to be signed Sunday, that's today, as Tehran signals delays, okay? So, Netanyahu wasn't just blowing something up in Lebanon, he was trying to blow up the peace deal, I would say. Would you guys agree with that? Would you get a yes or no? Do you think that Netanyahu was trying to sabotage the peace deal? Hey there, guys. I mean, it looks like the president thinks so. If you listen to what he said here, yeah, I agree. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's raining. You guys should be able to hear the rain. It is raining here in sunny South Florida. But here's Trump claim. Okay, here's the latest from Fox. Trump claims Iran peace deal is just hours away. Says he blasted Netanyahu in phone call. Trump made the comments in an interview with Fox News, who cautioned that Iran has backed away from negotiations at the last minute multiple times. Trump said to Fox News when he was on the phone, Pennsylvania, with Netanyahu, he said, "What the F are you doing?" Trump said, he told Netanyahu, "What the F are you doing?" And no doubt about it. I mean, And I think that Netanyahu knew exactly what he was doing. Do you guys agree with that? Netanyahu does not want this deal to go through. Why? I mean, there could be a number of reasons. And there are several reasons that I can think of, but whatever the reasons are, whatever they are not, there's no doubt in my mind that Netanyahu was trying to blow up this deal because he knows Lebanon's a touchy point with the Iranians. Okay, so here's Fox News reporting. Trey on Fox.
Strikes against the Hezbollah commander there in response to drone attacks that were launched over the border this weekend. Iran now says this will not go unanswered. And remember, just last weekend, they fired 30 ballistic missiles into Israel after the IDF launched similar strikes. Now, a diplomat involved in the talks told Fox News the strikes today in Beirut are creating issues with finalizing a deal.
And Netanyahu knew that would happen because if you remember just a week or two ago, President Trump asked him to stop bombing Lebanon because he was trying to get everything finished with Iran. When this is over, I think Netanyahu has forever broken his trust with Trump. I don't think Trump is going to trust Netanyahu anymore. Now, that doesn't mean that they're not going to act like best friends when we see them on television. But I don't think he's going to ever trust Netanyahu again. The timing of this is ridiculous.
They went on to accuse Israel of sabotaging this agreement. The Israelis are pushing back, saying that their civilians are under threat in the northern part of their country, and these will not go unanswered, these attacks over the border. This does come amid an optimistic statement by the Prime Minister of Pakistan, who on Saturday posted to X saying, quote, "We are closer to a peace deal than ever before." With finalization likely expected in the next 24 hours, Pakistan is preparing for the electronic signing of the peace deal immediately after, followed by technical-level talks next week. Now, Iran's foreign minister weighed in Saturday.
See, this is all being done electronically, okay, not in person.
On the most sensitive issue within the agreement, amid reports that
at least that's what we're being told, unless we don't know about it and Marco Rubio's over in Pakistan.
The Qatari negotiating team arrived in Tehran today to push the understanding across the finish line.
We postponed the nuclear issue to the final agreement for various reasons, but it was truly impossible to discuss it under current circumstances. The demands they had were in no way acceptable. Therefore,
this is Iran.
We brought up other issues that could be agreed upon in the first stage and postponed the nuclear issue to the second stage, which is, of course, a more difficult phase in which 60 days of negotiation have been envisioned.
This after President Trump posted a Truth Social overnight saying, in part, quote, "My agreement with Iran is the exact opposite, a wall to no nuclear weapon. In fact, they no longer want a nuclear weapon, nor will they have one, either through purchase, development, or any other form of procurement." The Iranians are continuing provocative action in the Strait of Hormuz as diplomatic efforts progress. CENTCOM said Saturday on X that Iran launched multiple one-way attack drones in an attempt to strike commercial ships transiting the Strait of Hormuz.
See, you got to understand. See, this is not a peace agreement between Iran and Israel. And, you know, as I'm listening to this, I'm starting to think that Netanyahu, I think, clearly tried to stop this deal from being made, right? Well, we're a couple hours away from the fight, so believe me, I'll be watching. But Netanyahu, without question, you guys, let me know in the chat, yes or no, did Netanyahu purposely try to stop the deal? I say yes. And now that I'm listening to this report again, I'm starting to think that Netanyahu was trying to blow up the deal, because if the United States has a deal, remember, this is a treaty between the United States and Iran, and not Israel. So Israel and, you know, other Arab nations are signing off on it with us. Netanyahu's afraid that Israel's going to be all alone, that they're going to lose us. I mean, there's other reasons too, but I think that's one of them. Oh yeah, he did it purposely, no doubt about it. And everyone knows that. You know, and President Trump, he's got to be diplomatic here, but he said that he's told Fox News that he said, "What the F are you doing?"
U.S. forces have downed all of them in recent hours as traffic flow through the strait continues unimpeded. The international trade corridor remains open for transit.
Yeah. Okay, here's another report from Fox a little bit ago.
U.S. officials say Iran would only get rewarded economically if it complies with its obligations under the deal. Here's U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations.
Well, see, you know, I was talking the other day, when I was talking about what the Democrats did with Spencer Pratt in Los Angeles, I said, you know, when you win, you lose. Netanyahu has done, even if he just stops the deal, Netanyahu, if what he did stops the deal, President Trump said it's not, but what Netanyahu has done is turn public opinion against him. I mean, look, I'm a strong supporter of Israel. Have you ever heard me criticize Israel or Netanyahu before? And he's even pissed me off as strong of a supporter as I am of Israel. I've been pissed off at Netanyahu all day since this story broke, right? So, you know, and there's a lot of people like me that have been strong supporters of Israel against incredible amounts of opposition. And then he does this, and he really turns people against him. Yeah, I mean, it's disgraceful what Netanyahu did. No doubt in my mind. If you're new to my channel, my name is Brian Craig. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Subscribe if you are new, and welcome. And also, guys, please like the video. All right, here's a Fox News report on the deal.
U.S. officials say Iran would only get rewarded economically if it complies with its obligations under the deal. Here's U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations, Michael Waltz, on Sunday Morning Futures.
This is all about, there is no trust. There is all about verify, number one. And then number two, you're not going to see, you know, these pallets of cash moving up front. It is going to be pay for performance.
This morning, Qatari negotiators reportedly arrived in Tehran to try and finalize the talks, but an IRGC-affiliated news agency says Iran has neither finalized nor officially declared its position on the memo of understanding. The conflict in the Middle East will loom over the G7 summit this week.
Yeah, Netanyahu's screwing everything up. Here's another report from Fox.
Yeah, Kevin, good afternoon. I just spoke with President Trump. He tells Fox News he believes a deal with Iran will be signed in the next 2 to 3 hours. I asked him about the Israeli strikes earlier today against Hezbollah in the Lebanese capital of Beirut. He tells me he spoke on the phone with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, asking him, what the F are you doing?
See?
He told the Prime Minister not to conduct additional strikes against Hezbollah so that it doesn't affect this deal from moving forward. Now, the Israelis are bracing for the possibility of incoming Iranian ballistic missile fire, according to the IDF. And President Trump tells Fox News he will ask Iran not to respond with missile fire toward Israel, with this deal on the horizon expected to be signed tonight. All of this taking place amid the backdrop of these latest conversations to get this final agreement across the finish line. The president talked about the strikes in the middle of last week when he was hammering many of those Iranian positions, pushing the Iranians back to the negotiating table. You might remember, Kevin, I was...
See, Trump had this whole thing locked up, and Netanyahu screwed it up. It's not over yet.
On the phone with the president as he was in the Situation Room, and the Iranians called him and asked him to stop the bombing. The president believes that moment was able to shift the equation and again get the Iranians to make these concessions. President Trump says if they sign the deal tonight, he will immediately order the blockade on Iranian ports to be lifted and then move forward into these more detailed discussions as it relates to Iran's nuclear program. But again, the latest headlines that we know here, President Trump telling Fox News he believes a deal with Iran will be signed in the next 2 to 3 hours. This will take place electronically, the president says. And then a week from now, there is expected to be an in-person signing that could take place somewhere in Europe. Again, the president responding after those Israeli strikes today against the Lebanese capital of Beirut. The Israelis were striking a Hezbollah position in response to drone fire over the border this weekend into northern Israel. Again, the president telling Fox News he asked the Israeli prime minister, what the F are you doing?
Yeah, exactly. Now, that was a little less than 3 hours ago when that was reported. So we're at that area now. So let me see, let me see if there's any updates on truth. Because, you know, one of the things that's going on here. Well, first off, all these liberals out there that are wishing that a deal doesn't go through. I mean, what the hell's wrong with you? You know, people are dying, you know, over this. This is what the president wrote about what Israel did on Truth Social. This morning's attack on Beirut should not have happened, particularly on a special day when we are so close to a peace deal with Iran. Israel has the right to defend itself against threats, but the attack it was responding to was very small and meaningless. Nobody was hurt, injured, or killed and should not disrupt this important process. We are very close to a deal that will bring peace to the region. This is the president on Truth, including the Lebanon, and all sides should stand down. There should be no more attacks by Israel anywhere in Lebanon. But there should also be no more attacks by any other party, including Hezbollah, against Israel. This could be the beginning of a long and beautiful peace. Let's not blow it. Thank you for your attention to this matter. President Donald J. Trump. Now, that was at 11:45 this morning. Now, unrelated, I came across this, and I'm starting to believe this to be true. Grant Stinchfield was at the reflection pool today in Washington, which has turned green with algae already, right? Listen, this is Stinchfield.
Oh, man. Take a look at this. The reflecting pool's green.
But what's supposed to be completely
Black. Yeah.
And we just saw it like a week ago. It was like
It was
crystal
fresh
clear
and blue, all that, yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
There's algae in here again. I feel like it's sabotage.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like that it's been sabotaged. Somebody threw some algae in there and made sure it grew through the whole pool.
That wouldn't shock me either.
I'm is it like this? Because it's gooey at the other end, and we walk this whole thing, we're like, there's
nice
no way that something like this.
watching
And the very
TV
opposite
along.
side is the World War II memorial. The water's fine. Why is this? So something happened here.
I mean, they had just literally fixed this.
Obama's with $32 million and it never held water. Trump spends 14 and they go crazy.
They're pumping something into the.
Yeah. I'm going to stick with sabotage to the reflecting poll, no doubt about it. So we'll see. I mean, you know, Trump had everything locked up, and then Netanyahu did this attack in Lebanon like a jerk, you know, and I'm not going to trust him. I'm really pissed off at Netanyahu. I really, truly am. I mean, for him to do, he knew exactly what he was doing, Netanyahu. There's no doubt in my mind, and shame on him. Shame on him. I'm very disappointed, you know, I mean, really. I mean, why does he want the war to continue? Where does he think the war is going? Yeah, so the War Secretary, Pete Hegseth, was on Face the Nation today, and he put Margaret Brennan in her place.
About what is going on with U.S. munitions and stockpiles here. Ukraine's president...
See, this is, you know, the left want to keep this, they're trying to get this narrative going that we're out of munitions in the military.
About what is going on with U.S. munitions and stockpiles here. Ukraine's President Zelensky was on this program a few weeks ago. He made a plea not just for more interceptors, but for the ability to produce them, for friendly governments to be able to produce patriots. Some Republican lawmakers support this idea. Do you?
Nobody makes better and more munitions than the United States of America, and we are open to co-production wherever we can. And because of this administration, we're supercharging our arsenal of freedom, building more, building faster, opening up the Pentagon, ripping through the Pentagon bureaucracy to force industry to move faster. So
but there are crises.
Our
There
stockpiles
is a
are strong,
crisis
and
with
they will
those
only get
stockpiles
stronger in
right
the
now.
future.
There is a crisis with those stockpiles right now in private industry.
That is a manufactured story that the media wants to peddle, and ultimately
He's good, isn't he?
Are great, and they'll only get stronger because of the way this president has.
You
And
testified
if anything,
under oath that it would
was
take
the
years
Biden
to rebuild
administration that
those
gave
stockpiles.
away munitions to the. You don't have to read back to me what I testified. I speculated some munitions take more time than others. We've got lots of them. We're building more than ever before. The Biden administration gave away hundreds of billions to Ukraine, and so President Trump had to refill, and he has, and we have.
Yeah, he's good, Pete Hegseth, isn't he? Yeah. So here's, again, Fox News, Trey on Fox News talking about his conversation with the president.
Yeah, Kevin, good afternoon. I just spoke with President Trump. He tells Fox News he believes a deal with Iran will be signed in the next 2 to 3 hours. I asked him about the Israeli strikes earlier today against Hezbollah in the Lebanese capital of Beirut. He tells me he spoke on the phone with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, asking him, what the F are you doing?
Exactly. What the F are you doing? No doubt about it. Pete's very good. He sure is. He's awesome. You know, I mean, I'm telling you, you know, for Netanyahu to do this today and turn so many people like me that have been strong, and I still am a supporter of Israel, but that doesn't mean that I'm not pissed off at Netanyahu. No, there's no way Trump is going to trust Netanyahu ever again. I mean, there was no reason for him to do this attack today other than disrupt what President Trump was doing. That's it. There's no other possible reason. You know, it's shameful, right? I mean, we're on the end of getting this deal for America's longest war. We've been at war for 47 years. We're about to end a war, and then Netanyahu goes out and tries to sabotage it. No, believe me, and for the president to admit that he used the F word, what the F are you doing? He said the whole word to Netanyahu. That tells you how pissed he is, that he would let it be known that he said those words. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Make sure you subscribe. The UK is backing the deal. So things, I mean, it very well could still happen. It could still happen. It's not over yet. It's just making it a little more difficult. That's all. Here's Mike Waltz. He's our UN ambassador on ABC This Week with Margaret Brennan.
Let's talk about this deal. As we sit here right now, it has not been signed. Will it be signed today? Will that be digitally? Will they be on a digital or a Zoom call? How will this work, and how confident are you that it will happen today?
Well, the president has every intent for it to happen. I'll leave the actual details and timing to the White House. The Iranians are incredibly difficult negotiators.
No, well, they are. Yeah, I mean, it's been a very difficult day. Very difficult. Okay, here's another report on the president's conversation with Netanyahu.
These strikes, and he apparently called Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to say, "What the F are you doing?" Netanyahu posting birthday messages today to Trump on X in response. Despite Trump insisting there's going to be a deal signed today, Democrats on the Hill are speaking out, really critical and skeptical of all of this. Listen.
I don't know if you heard, but we ended the war with Iran today, and they have agreed never to have a nuclear weapon, something that we insisted on. That was the whole purpose.
Okay, that wasn't the right soundbite. I meant to say Senator Jack Reed saying that he believes there's going to be a deal, but the president really just wants to give a birthday present to himself. Tomorrow, the president arrives here for the G7 in Evian, France, not too far away from Geneva here. He'll address economic growth, illegal immigration.
Yeah, okay, yeah. And we had the whole thing locked up. It's really a shame. I mean, this, for President Trump to get a deal going with Iran, they're ready to sign. I mean, it's amazing. And it's not over. It could still happen. It's just a little more difficult right now. But it was a bad mistake. And if the deal doesn't happen today, believe me, Netanyahu would have done permanent damage to himself and to Israel, because he lost the trust of the president, and he will have lost the trust of people like me, millions of people like me in this country that support Israel, and we're on the verge of ending this war. Tell me in the chat, why do you think Netanyahu tried to sabotage the deal today? Why do you think Netanyahu tried to sabotage the deal today? I think there's several reasons, but I'm curious to hear what you all think. Fear of what? Fear of what? Fear, jealousy, spoiled? Central bankers? Well, President Trump has put together an incredible Mideastern alliance, and I don't think he wants that to happen at all. That's part of it. A deal with Iran would mean no war between the United States and Iran. We'd be at peace, and it gives legitimacy to the Islamic Republic. There's all kinds of reasons for Netanyahu to oppose this. None of them are good. He's afraid he'll be isolated and alone. He doesn't want the Mideast alliance put together. No, that's stupid. Save dullness. That's come on. Be a serious person. Oh no, President Trump is the most amazing president we've ever had. And this negotiation, this is the first time we've really seen something like this happen in real time. In the past, when there's been wars, we didn't live through this. What's going on right now is probably pretty normal, right? When it comes to peace negotiations and treaties and surrenders and such. We've just never lived through one in real time before. That's what makes this one so new. We've never lived through one in real time. I don't think we have. Not like this. Make sure you subscribe if you're new to the channel, guys. But no, we've never had one that was taking place in real time like this, ever. Where this is like, no, Iraq was not like this. We're hearing in real time from everyone through X, and we've never seen something like this. Not like this. Nope. So my guess is a lot of what's going on is, no, not Iraq, is this is probably pretty much like they're always like. We're just not following along like we are now. It's a big difference. Yeah. Oh no, President Trump, the thing about all of this, I always trust in Trump. How many of you are going to watch the fight tonight? It starts in a couple hours. How many fights are there? There's a whole bunch of fights. I don't know if I'll be able to watch all of them. But I will definitely be watching. Oh, Americans don't care. We don't care about the World Cup. Americans don't care about the World Cup. Nope. And you know what? We never will. We'll care about soccer. How many weight divisions do they have in the UFC? I don't know about that. Would you go in the ring with any of those guys? I don't think so. No, I trust Trump. I could definitely, let's see here. We've got, oh man. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fights. Yeah, it's going to start with the featherweight. Featherweight, middleweight, lightweight, heavyweight, bantamweight, interim heavyweight, and then the lightweight championship, which is the main event. Although the interim heavyweight is the co-main event. So, it's a lot of fights. Yeah, it's a lot. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, 7 fights. It's going to look super cool when it happens. I'll tell you that. It is going to be super cool looking. I mean, it's going to be history. Is the main event at 8? Or is the first fight at 8? Does anyone know? 8, I'm talking about Eastern time, Washington time, Mar-a-Lago time. Is the first fight at 8? No, the main card's at 8. It says the main card's at 8. Yeah, it's on Paramount Plus. The dumbest idea ever? Really? What about when Biden had the transgendered person there who took their shirt off and was totally topless and naked? So it was the first, I think the first fight's at 6, isn't it, Eastern? I'll definitely be watching. Yeah, I'm a little unclear. Is the main event at 8? Or does the first fight start at 8? I've never watched a full UFC match. I don't count that Ronda Rousey thing. Let's see. It says the main card is at 8. I'm going to be watching on Paramount Plus. Yeah, oh yeah, they're doing, the liberals are doing rain dances. They want it to rain so bad. They're like praying for rain in D.C. I mean, liberals are just psychos, man. They're just negative psychos. Who would pray for rain with something like this? Why would you want it to rain? It's just, what it is? Liberals are just miserable. Miserable and unhappy. And they can't be happy. Coverage on Paramount starts at 5, yeah. But I was under the impression the early fights were starting early. But I could be wrong, who knows. But, I mean, who would pray for rain for something like this, like the liberals are doing? They don't even believe in God, they're praying for rain. What the liberals are doing, they're trying to manifest rain, right? That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to manifest rain because they're scumbags. Liberals are lowlives. Yeah. It's just sad. They're psychotic. And crazy people don't usually know that they're crazy too, you know? I mean, they got that problem going for them. If you're new to my channel, guys, make sure that you subscribe, all right? And everyone, please like the video. Okay, got a little update on Israel here. This is Fox headline. Israel fears Trump wary of highly suspicious Netanyahu and could flip amid Iran deal. Okay, what's this? A regional analyst says fears that President Trump could flip on Prime Minister Netanyahu amid a critical push for a U.S.-Iran peace agreement are growing in Jerusalem. Well, yeah, I mean, because like I said, you guys that watch me regularly, I am a strong supporter and defender of Israel, and I'm so pissed at Netanyahu. I've been pissed at Netanyahu all freaking day. Even before President Trump posted that on Truth, I was pissed. An analyst says he fears President Trump could flip on Prime Minister Netanyahu amid a critical push for U.S.-Iran peace agreement. And these thoughts are growing in Jerusalem. Yeah. The strikes today in Beirut are creating issues with finalizing the deal, a diplomat involved in the talks with Tehran told Fox, adding that they were a clear attempt by Israel to sabotage the president's deal and drag the United States back into war. Trump went on to condemn Israel's strikes in a post on True Social, also telling Axios, he told this to Fox and Axios, he told Fox that he said, "What the F are you doing?" And then he told Axios, Netanyahu had no effing judgment. So Trump is pissed. A senior fellow at the Mideast Institute said, "There's absolutely fear in the Israeli government, calling it a rational and healthy fear over the pending deal. There's now a sense in Israel that Trump may be growing weary of Netanyahu and the Israelis. I don't know about the Israelis, but Netanyahu. And many others believe that if he's gotten sick and tired of him, meaning Netanyahu, he could break norms in other directions and flip on Israel." Yeah. You know, Netanyahu effed up big time. It's just what the president says. He's got no effing sense. You know, this is disgusting what Netanyahu did. It's disgusting. You know exactly what he was doing. And everything President Trump has done for him, you know, and then he goes out and I would, give me a yes or no on this. Has Netanyahu betrayed Trump? I say yes. Has Netanyahu betrayed Trump? Yes or no? Has Netanyahu betrayed Trump? Yes or no? I say yes. What say you? Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Yeah. There's no question that it's a betrayal. No question at all. Complete betrayal. Let me see what CNN's latest update is. Okay. This is, let me see, CNN. Let me pull this up. Trump urges Israel not to strike Lebanon with U.S. and Iran so close to an agreement. Yeah. There could be all kinds of reasons. I mean, you know, if we have an agreement with them, that gives legitimacy to their government. He may not want that. I think he wants Iran to just not exist, Netanyahu, right? That's what I think. And he doesn't want it to end as long as they exist.
And Julia mentioning the president saying he's not happy, right? And would
This
like
is
everybody
CNN.
to hold off, right? Basically, don't screw this up for the rest of us. What are we hearing, if anything, publicly in terms of comments from Israeli officials?
This is CNN.
Well, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu isn't going to openly come out against President Donald Trump as he's pushing this deal. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, the only thing Netanyahu has said today about Trump is simply wishing him happy birthday on social media. There is clearly here an effort, certainly by Netanyahu, to make the relationship with Trump seem as positive as possible and that they're on the same page. But there is very clearly a divide here when it comes to Iran and when it comes to Lebanon. Trump is very much pushing for this agreement between the U.S.
Yeah, I mean, they're being very nice. I mean, Netanyahu, I mean, I find after Trump said this to CNN or to Fox, and then Netanyahu put birthday messages out there, I find that to be condescending. And being condescending is, to me, like an FU. I think Netanyahu basically told Trump F off, and that's why Trump is plenty pissed. Right? Plenty pissed. Yeah, but it doesn't mean it's over yet. Maybe President Trump will bond with Iran a little bit over they're both being pissed at Israel, right? It could help the deal along, and there's that possibility too. Trump being very publicly pissed off at Israel could help get the deal sealed. It's very possible. If you're new to my channel, make sure that you subscribe, okay? And on President Trump's birthday, for Netanyahu to do this, the fight tonight, the peace deal was about to be signed. It's the president's birthday. Insanity. Complete insanity. No, this will not be forgotten. If the deal does not happen now because of this, it will not be forgotten. Nope. You know what? And it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. And Israel's probably going to get hit hard by Iran with whatever they have left. Iran posted this on X. Today's crime by the Zionist regime in Beirut once again proved the U.S. is weak without credibility, and it is not even capable of controlling this illegitimate regime. A strong response is coming. Oh, my goodness. Unreal. Netanyahu really blew it here. Really blew it. But that, like I said, Trump is so pissed at Iran. I mean, so pissed at Israel. And he's telling the Iranians that. So that could make it go in our favor. Well, listen, if you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe. And everyone, please like the video. I'll be back later if there are developments in this. And, of course, I'll be live in the studio tomorrow taking your live calls if I'm not back later today. But I will come back if there are developments in the Iran peace deal. I'm losing my voice anyway, so I better go. All right, guys, I will see you if there is breaking news later. And, again, if I don't see you later today, I'll see you early in the morning. All right? My name is Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk.